I loves me some 1 degree of Chunky B.
Now, I just have to make a comment about Chunky B. Have you ever seen him looking so good?
The panel then includes actress Lady Kazan, comedian Chunky B, and Playboy TV host Julie Strain. Chunky?
What was the question?
Check it out, everybody. One, sincere thank yous for just dialing in every week. 1 degree of Chunky B is getting more and more traction every week, and I love the fact that you guys are tuning in and tell all your friends. ChunkyB.tv, 1 degree of Chunky B, and do not go anywhere because we got a cat that you want to learn about. If you don't know him, you're going to learn about him tonight. But before I go any further in the Garage of Love, you know I love him, I adore him, and I want to mount him. He's the executive producer of Love in the Garage of Love. Say hello to Gary Adler.
That's a warm, fuzzy feeling you just gave me, Chunk. Thank you.
What's
I
up your
appreciate
sleeve,
that.
brother?
Well, I just want to say a couple things. Let's get a couple business things out of the way, okay?
Yes.
You know, one is Venice Duck Brewery. Come on, people. Look at that.
Okay, listen.
Put the label up close, Chunk.
Right there.
There you go.
Okay, it's a duck. It's from Venice. And by the way, good news. I just talked to Christian Warren and John Henry Binder. 120 outlets for their beer right now.
Let's give that a hand.
Southern California.
I think you can attribute 3/4 of that to us.
Yeah. Right,
At
right,
least, right? Cool.
Court Crandall. We cannot. Hello.
Yeah, go.
He is. When we always say when you want to get your jerk on.
Oh, Birdo.
Is that his line?
Call Oberto.
Yeah. Dude, I want to let you know I am a beef jerky junkie, and this is the real deal. And we are blessed for Court to making sure that we're jerkified.
Right, and real quick, thanks for hitting the donate button, people.
Yep. Nice.
Travis has been able to we've been able to order him not a full 12-inch.
A kid's meal.
We got him basically a kid's meal. Yeah, thank you very much. And the Amazon thing, we're doing this one more week, where if you go on to our site before you buy something on Amazon, and you tell us on our fan page what you bought, your story will air the next week.
Yeah, we're going to start featuring some of these people, some of these cats that are just dialed in. And you know our super fans that I always like to give a holler out to, Karen McCoy.
Oh, yeah.
And then Don DeBear, and then Mary Kay. All you people out of the Craig Ferguson camp. Big love, big love.
And the bubble.
And the bubble. Come on, right here in Venice Beach.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, please give your undivided attention and a big round of applause for Travis Spencer, the Wizard of the Knobs.
Gentlemen, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Big shout out to T4 Boo Boo. He's been blowing me up on Twitter.
Man, he's the one. Wait a second. Yeah, he's the one.
He's good people. I like him.
He's a great guy, and he's the one that makes all our gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
for sure.
right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he makes the gifts. I got to find a way to get him the list before we have the show. So, like, for example, our guest right now, why don't I just go right into it?
Get in there.
You guys, it is so funny. I'm going to tell you how I met this cat. He's a hilarious comedian, Brian Moreno. Come on. Right there, Brian. I'm going to dive in real quick.
How's that Venice Duck, first of all?
Excellent.
The funniest thing was we were hanging out at right outside of CBS, right there in the Grove. And here's something I'm going to tell you that you don't even know. When you and I started chatting, because you just probably heard me over like, and then you dialed me in and dropped into my conversation going, hey, listen, I'm a comedian too. And we have kept in touch, even though we don't see each other very often, with the Twitter and just social media. But you know who was behind the bar when you and I first met? I don't want to sound romantic. The Wizard.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
It's a small world. Small world, gentlemen.
Yeah, he was behind the bar. It was our first time we
This is
we're
kind of
hanging
a
out.
bodyguard moment.
This
Hang
is
on
seriously
Adler's got a tear.
mandatory group hug right after this fucking show, people.
We've been in the room together before, guys.
This is full circle.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
This would be
right
considered
on.
full
That's
circle.
why they call it the Garage of Love. Brian, Here's what one I love about you, and executive producer Gary Adler doesn't even.
We'll learn to love.
Yeah,
We'll learn to
yeah,
love.
yeah. Check this out, brother. Miami cat.
No way.
Yep. Half Jewish, half Columbian.
Wow.
Okay.
So he sells a lot of drugs, but just not enough.
Wholesale.
But very frugal about it.
very
Very
frugal
frugal, yeah.
And are you ready for this?
Where is
Square
the
grouper.
sale? Where is
Square
the
grouper.
sale?
What is it?
Hockey fanatic, and was a phenomenal, phenomenal hockey player as a kid.
on.
Yeah, just as he was getting ready to go to college, shoulder, right?
During college. During
Oh,
college.
okay.
Yes, yes.
Oh, my
very
Which was
early,
in
very-
Indiana.
Yes, IU.
Wow.
Bloomington.
What a great backstory. Now, listen, if you're growing up as a hockey player in Miami, you're going to be the best kid in town. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
You had to go far for ice time. You had to go far.
right. But I tell you what, I know we're skipping a couple years here. But what was it like? Did you get a ride to Indiana?
Yes, it was full ride. And then after my shoulder blew out, it got transferred half academic, half athletic because I did things for the athletic program. Just like took students on tours and.
So you were
things
dialed in. You were
Yeah,
dialed in.
yeah, yeah.
You
I
were
was
the, like,
somebody.
the,
I was
the
somebody.
ambassador. You were the ambassador when new athletes
Well, they
came
called
in.
they called me a mentor, for like linemen and swimmers, and I mean there were unglamorous sports,
Yeah. And my next question, a little off topic. Are you gay?
like not 50% of the time.
50%? Because your comedy does a lot of dick sucking.
That's funny, though.
It is hilarious. What was that bit?
I mean,
that you
dick
like,
sucking is pretty funny. in
I
general.
I do. Oh, my older brother's gay. So I tell people like I missed the gay bus by one chromosome. I could smell it, It was close.
Did you see these guys' eyes when I asked you if you were gay? Like, Chunky, what are you looking at? It's part of his.
I was like, you
No,
wanna
no, no,
suck
because
it?
I get asked. I get asked a lot. It's just a regular thing, It's like 12 times a year. Someone's like, "Well, I'm not sure," but I'm sure enough to ask, and he won't be offended.
It certainly makes for funny comedy. And go on your YouTube. You have a YouTube page or anything that fans can see
I'm
on?
getting my website all redone right now. Like I have just one clip for people just for like a.
Are you on Facebook?
Yes, Facebook. You can find me Brian Moreno. I'm the mayor of Sleepytown. I think I'm the only one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to let you know your Twitter,
I'm
your
not sure what that
Twitter
means.
thoughts. I want to let you know something. I'm going to promote right now. You guys have got to go to Brian's Twitter and
What's your
follow
Twitter
him.
account?
Brian Moreno 21 at Brian Moreno
At
21.
Brian Moreno 21.
Yeah.
The most random,
Yeah.
funny,
Yeah.
to the point, makes you think.
Listen,
Makes you think, because nothing's better than smart comedy, and I wish I had that.
not everyone can construct a beautiful tweet.
If I could do it all over again, I'd be an 18-year-old stripper on Twitter. Like I'm not interesting enough as a 30-year-old
Chick or dude?
comic. A chick for sure. Absolutely a chick. You'd get 30,000 followers, no problem.
No
then
kidding.
switch it over, little bait and switch situation.
Oh yeah, right.
I think
That's
I think
great.
I'm onto something there.
That's a lawsuit, bro. That is a fucking lawsuit.
Officer, do the math. I was 18.
All right, so you came out of high school out of Miami, then you
What
went
high
to college.
school did you go to?
I went to a few different high schools. I really don't claim any high, just because when you're playing at an obscure sport, because I also swam, you find the best opportunities with the best teams. And my mom she was savvy enough, like in real estate, where she could buy homes or condos in a district so I could live there. Like I was that kid in high school that parents weren't there all the time. And my mom, like she's from Columbia, so it's like her view of the world is different. Yeah. She didn't come to this country until she was 21. Yeah. So,
oh, really?
Yes. But she's an expert at hockey.
Well, no,
She always has been.
And that's a mecca.
Yeah, she's always been the best hockey mom. Yeah.
Did I say you were Cuban or Colombian?
Colombian.
Okay, I did say okay.
Bogota. She was from Bogota.
Right on.
Wow, man.
So
What
you
a
grew up
crazy
doing great
upbringing.
blow.
Well, like.
Your mom was a dealer?
Yeah, well, my mom was the kind of person, she was a gangster, like she would drop me off to like a practice and she'd be like, Brian, if the cops come, like, don't say a word. Like, what are you talking about?
That's great. That's great. That sounds like a sexy mom. I can't even, I don't want to say was your mom sexy because that's kind of rude.
Yes, she was. Like, man, like that's also why, maybe I'm effeminate because I was brought up by powerful. My dad, he wasn't, My dad wasn't there when I was born because he's like, oh, when you've seen one kid born, you've seen them all.
He was too busy picking up the kilos from south of the border.
No, my dad is Jewish. Like he was, he was more concerned. He might have another family in Mexico. There might be a Juan that looks just like me. And I have no idea. That was the kind of relationship me and him had.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, let me ask you.
I went to Coral Gables High School, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I went to St. Charles as the middle school, and then I lived on Matilda. I don't know.
Wow.
Yes, it was during the urban renewal. Like people were fighting for my neighbor's house so they could build a pool there. Yeah. It was that time.
I was on Matilda once. She just laid there.
Yeah. With a name like that, you wouldn't want her to
she's
move
not going to
around.
put out all that much.
Heavy smoker, Matilda, huh?
Yeah.
Heavy smoker.
I'm really excited about what that groove you got going over at House of Blues.
Yes.
Break that down.
I've been very fortunate. I met the booker at a real shitty comedy club in the Valley. I did a set. Him and his wife come out start talking to me after. They're like, he gives me his card, the booker of the House of Blues. We like you. You're not telling jokes. I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
And he's like, we want to give you, some time there. And at first I'm like, oh, I think you mean the girl before me who's playing the ukulele. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, no, we haven't done comedy in 6 years at the House of Blues. And we want to bring one person in to develop, to give them a room to see what they can do with it. So they bring me in that Friday. He literally fires a guy in front of me. The guy's like, oh, I have people booked because they were doing some art mixer. And he's like, well, tell them they're not booked anymore.
Give Brian your list.
And the first 3 months, I got to say, were rough because you get the word out. You have to figure out what you're doing. And I do it a 100% free show the first Friday of every month from 7:30 to 9:30, the House of Blues on Sunset. And as you guys know, the House of Blues is going to be torn down in 2 years.
Yep, I heard about that. Why?
Well, for a while, Live Nation, who owns the House of Blues, has wanted a bigger venue to attract larger bands. Because right now, the main room maxes out around 2,200. Mm-hmm. And certain there are certain big electronica type band, like DJs, that's not big enough. They want something more. Yes, it has it's only been there since 92, so people have a little more, they think it's been there longer. Like our memories, get
plus they, the way it looks, it's like it's from 1930 or something.
Well, but I love the venue, though. I love the House of Blues.
Oh, my God.
They want a bigger venue because now it's bigger. Everything's on steroids these days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the House of Blues just isn't big enough for a company like Live Nation. But they've assured me, they're going to make sure there's rooms for me there. But that being said, come experience it because it's in the Foundation Room, and the Foundation Room is a members only part. And for my comedy show, you get in for free. There's no drink minimum. Like I max room out at 111 people. It's really intimate. And I've had huge performers. Eric Andre did my year anniversary.
Right on.
Can I ask if you've had anyone from our, I don't want to say sister podcast, The Crab Feast, but you had Ryan Sickler or Jay Larson in there?
Neither of them have stopped by, and that's the thing, that it's starting to build momentum. And there's
what about Chunky B? He does a great 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's me. In case you forgot, Brian, I'm right over here. Hello.
Hey, Chunky knows if he wants to be up September 5th. Actually, no, you'll be the October 3rd show.
Put me in ink.
October 3rd.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about, people. Come on.
That's right. We're cutting deals, man.
Yes.
This might be the Garage of Love, but we're doing business, motherfuckers.
That's right.
You guys heard it here. Chunky B's gonna cold open that room and he's gonna demolish because look at Chunky B.
Look at me.
I didn't realize.
Chunk, don't do the Oreo story.
I bet he was a strapping young man. Chunky.
He was.
Look,
Back in the day, I strapped a lot of things on.
Oh my!
You do watch the open to this show, and there's a photo of him from like 1984 in Pensacola, Florida.
My God, right?
Doing a stripper show.
Yeah.
Dude, like hosting it. It's
I
great.
used to host the Best Body on the Beach.
The baby blues, the light brings it out. This is spectacular. I had no idea what he was working with. I had
Brian,
no idea.
Prepare to be mounted. Not only you're funny, you're smart. What was this thing about Wall Street? What did I catch about you tied in Wall Street?
Well, right out of college, because when I went to college, I started to act. I booked a couple commercial gigs my junior year, so I was like, I'll be a theater major. And my mom's like, well, if you're staying in school for free,
gay. Oh, I'm sorry.
If you're staying in school for free, you're not leaving with a theater degree. Like that's insane. So, and I'm like, well, what's the hurry? So I stayed 5.5 years, and I got a theater degree and then a business marketing degree.
Damn.
That was that was the beard, right?
Well,
the beard. Oh, really? You're going back to that? Yeah.
You know, Dad made me get that one.
Yeah, right. No, but so what? You get out of college and you start. Were you thinking New York? What were you thinking?
Well,
What college did you go to?
Indiana University. And this Kelly School of Business at Indiana University, I give them a lot of credit. They're top 15, in rankings almost every year. I was very fortunate. I had good teachers. I had, because I can read and retain information very well. And if you can write, then you can make it through business school because that's all it is.
And comedy, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of that. That right out of college, I'll make a real long story short. I moved to LA because I knew LA was where I was going to be. That was it. Because it was Miami without the humidity.
But where was your headspace? Business or comedy? Were you going to ask
No,
that?
I didn't.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I didn't even. My first inception of comedy, I remember as a kid, was Chris Rock doing his special. I had to stay up late, and turn the TV on. And I remember I crying, laughing. I'd never seen a person and their words. Literally, and I was a 13, 12-year-old kid,
Yeah.
And what he was doing to 40-year-old, 50-year-old black women in the audience, that's a very different demographic,
Chunky's was Milton Berle.
And I was like, he's transcending lines with words like that. And I didn't know that at the time, but it didn't matter race, color, creed, what age, didn't matter. He made something that magic.
You put it together that someone sat down and wrote this beautiful genius shit out.
Yeah, and
it became something.
Well, I didn't understand the art, but that was the first inception. And then right out of college, I thought I was going to acting because I had the theatrical background.
Mm-hmm.
I booked a pilot. I would say I was, 21 because I was young. I skipped, a year or two in 5th or 6th grade just because I could read, So I was young, 21, graduating college. And I came out here, I booked a pilot. The pilot didn't take. And
How excited were you when you got that pilot, man?
Oh, I thought I was gonna be
Easy Street.
Oh, fuck!
Everyone has this story, right?
Everyone's got stories.
I thought it was gonna be right now. George
out
Clooney.
here, gold strikes, and then
Yeah.
and then reality sets in, right?
Well,
I think it happened to all of us.
I was very fortunate because I did have that degree, and I applied for a job at a small little science magazine that had a remote office in Santa Monica called The Scientist, and they had never met anyone like me. I understand science, but I don't think I could. I'm not a scientist by any stretch, and they needed someone to just go to conferences and talk about the magazine. I became the face of a science magazine. Had never studied science. They called me a marketing specialist. My first real job out of college, and my pay was nothing. It was $28,000 a year, but they sent me all over the world. I got to see everything: Rio, Switzerland, Soviet Union, just all over, just talking about the magazine at conferences by myself, and there was plenty of pussy to be gotten.
Let's give it up for pussy.
Yeah, that's right. The jury's still out, but we'll give it up for vagina.
But that's also comedy. It's timing and the beat. That's what you when you have that silence and and you get them and they're like, okay, what's this asshole gonna say next?
So were you wanted to be an actor?
Well, yeah,
pilot. And then what happened?
Well, I went to Stella
Adler. Got a little discouraged. Look at him. It's his show. There you go.
We can look at you. What are you talking
I know. I'm getting uncomfortable.
I'm dashing. I can be dashing.
Dude, you can look at anybody you want. All of a sudden you're uncomfortable?
He's got piercing something eyes. I don't know what it is.
And he doesn't know exactly what I'm thinking. So
are you guys going out for dessert after the podcast?
Fuck, I hope so.
Just some candles is all. Just some candles. Just some candles.
That's hilarious. Okay, wait a second. What were we talking? You traveled?
Oh yes. I went to Stella Adler Acting Academy while I was working at The Scientist, and so that's why I kept my theater chops. Ooh. And from The Scientist, I was at a conference. I met someone from the Wall Street Journal. They're like, "What do you do for this company? What are you doing? Like who are you?" I was like, "Oh, marketing specialist." They're like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "Oh, well, I take things that people don't understand and make them a little more understandable. I really don't know what I'm talking about, but I know how. I know how to do that. But that's
actually what a great way to use that left-right brain you have.
Yeah, and so they're like, awesome. Within 2 weeks, they offered me a job I couldn't refuse as public relations. West Coast public. That wasn't the manager at the time. Within 2 weeks, the manager announced that she was going to be quitting because she got pregnant. She just didn't, So I just got thrusted into a job.
You were the manager then.
Yeah, and it was
at the Wall Street Journal.
Manager, West Coast Division.
I mean,
yeah.
20 what?
At this time, I was probably 24.
Oh, yeah. Well, you must have been the youngest manager ever at the Wall Street Journal.
Well, I was it was a weird time because the Wall Street Journal was going down and they wanted to bring a youthful energy into it. So it was just, they were bringing in younger writers. They were bringing in the website. There was all younger. So that was
They were building the social department.
Well, that's kind of something
department.
they thought, but it was so. There was no recognition. There was no. I would be in a cubicle 3 days a week, and the other 2 days, because public relations in journalism is the bridge between advertising and journalism, because you need to mesh those somehow. In public relations, you have to be able to tell certain people, oh, this would be a good issue for you to advertise in, this and that, but you can't tell them why. And then other people who are big, say they're writing a negative article about the auto industry, be like, Lexus, well, maybe you want to push all your advertising to this and this and this, and it's very, you get nothing from it, like it was a good paycheck, but I was very unhappy. Like I was miserable. Like I remember walking, because I could walk to my office, and I wanted to stab myself in the eye. Like I would smoke weed before at 8 a.m. just to get to work through my day job. And like I would be leaving at lunch smoking weed. Like this is fucking terrible, And listen, all day. And these people had no idea.
All right, Brian, check this out. We're gonna go a little deeper.
Yes.
We're going to take a little break here. We're going to check in with our sponsors.
Put gloves on? How much deeper do you want to go?
No Let's just say you might have to turn your head and cough.
No gloves.
No gloves. All right, check this out. Thank you so much right now for being part of 1 Degree of Chunky B. We're going to be coming right back after this small break. We're going to talk to Brian and, kind of get under the hood and check his oil. We'll be right back. You guys are awesome. You guys have got to check out our brand new sponsor, Venice Duck Brewery. You want to get your quack on? Taste some of this. Hey, you guys, music provided by Play Up Music. That's playupmusic.com.
Words of wisdom you said to me were fewer and farther in between. Love and sacrifice through a sunken dream were complemented by a garden scene. Why?
Hey there, guys. I'm Brian Moreno, and I am on 1 Degree of Chunky B.
Guys, we're back. We're back, and I got to tell you something. We always. Okay, Gary, I'm still talking. Oh yeah, thank you.
How's that?
Gary's just turned off my biggest fan. Of course.
Horrible, but true.
Brian Moreno in the house. But we always like to say, hey, Brian, thank you for enjoying Venice Duck.
It's excellent.
And then Adler's got the Oberto.
And by the way, if you want to jerk it out, is that what you say?
No, get your jerk on.
Call Oberto.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, you see the bag is empty because we ate
No,
it.
Brian's got some more.
Do I get to take some of this home? Or?
If there's anything left in it.
Whatever you don't eat, you got to take home.
1 degree.
Pretty much take whatever you want.
1 Degree of Chunky B, chunkyb.tv. And you know something? We have to feed the whiz.
That's right.
Just go, some of you guys are donating, and I really totally appreciate it. It's awesome. And if you're gonna go shopping, if you buy anything on Amazon through our website, I promise you, we'll fucking talk about you.
Yeah.
You will be the customer of the week.
Hit our fan page on 1 Degree of Chunky B on Facebook and let us know what you bought, and we'll talk about it.
And of course, around the table in the Garage of Love, we got Adler, we got the Wizard, and of course, we got Brian. Brian, one of the funniest motherfuckers.
He books our Scarlet Lady shows. I just found out at the break, Chunky.
Yeah.
B.
Okay, listen to me. Let me tell you what a quality individual this guy is. One, we need him more in our life on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
And go to his be a follower. Normally, I'm like, hey, dude, fuck everybody, follow me. This guy has pockets of wisdom on a regular basis, and he's not afraid to pound it out. And all of a sudden, like, wow, he just did this 2 hours ago. Then he did another one an hour ago. Then he did. You got to slow down. You're fucking the curve up for everybody. All right.
Thank you, Brian Moreno, 21. Twitter's one of those unique things, like you need to get heat to get serious followers, and you need to have your handle on national TV. So get on the train before it's too full. Make a relationship with me now is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Something. There was one thing about comics, and I would like to real quick. Robin Williams. Okay, I'm not trying to change the vibe of this, but every comic's got a dark side. I was raised by a hardcore alcoholic Catholic FBI agent, that really was a funny man, but never around the dinner table, never around the family. When and he was a dive bar specialist, even though he was a strong, hardcore, clean-cut
By the
FBI
way,
agent.
FBI agent.
Yeah.
Chunky B's dad was an FBI agent.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He was on the task force against terrorism before he died of a heart attack at the age of 61.
I would've guessed-
He never saw 9/11.
I would have guessed like sex trafficking or something.
Really?
Wow.
Are you going there?
I'll tell you what. One of the first things Chunky B told me was, "I can gouge your eye out in about 3 seconds."
With my thumb.
And he's like, "My dad taught me that."
I saw that on Game of Thrones. I saw that move. I know that move. I know that move.
And I know we're laughing, but every comedian's got what was your springboard? What was your what's the dark side?
Well, I guess I need growing up, like I told you, my little brother's gay. Like growing up, it was an intention thing. It's like my mother raised, my brother, like she loved him. I was taught all gay, all good, all the time, and it's like I knew I could speak and do things differently, but it's like, and I still to this day, everything he touches turns to gold. Like he's just one of those. Like they're writing a book about his life, or someone's writing a book about his life, and it's like if you wanted to write a book about my life, you could do it with a couple emojis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need
But your brother's.
words.
So tell us about his exploits.
Well, no. I mean,
What's the age difference? Can we set the table real quick?
This is about me. This is about me.
That is true, by the way.
Yeah.
Go, Brian.
Yeah.
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, right around.
And you're
5 years.
younger?
Yes, I'm 30. He's 35.
You're 30?
34,
Are you
yes.
30 years old?
Yes.
You look good. You must moisturize.
Why you think I
God,
look
yeah.
older,
the sun's-
younger?
No. I'm saying you look
You
good.
can do 27.
But no.
28.
Okay.
Well, yeah, most comedians think I don't think because when I turned 30, I didn't celebrate the birthday. So they
Smart.
don't know.
That's
I
smart.
just didn't because it was just the number thing for me. But it is what it is. It's like I have life experience. A lot of these younger guys, they're up there talking. It's like, what are you talking about,
Brian,
bro? We haven't done anything.
Right, I know we're kind of like spinning a little bit
Yes,
out, but
yes.
there's a part of you that I do not know, and there's a part of you that I do want to know.
Yes.
What was your zinger? Was it your dad? Was your mom? Was it your older brother? Did he get too much attention?
Well, yeah, and then also my dad. It's like the always wanting approval, and I always felt like when I would see, because I don't do what I do for celebrity, I do what I do for recognition, and that's like the clear difference between me and a lot of people who are in this business. It's like I want those eyes on me. I want them to say, okay, what's he gonna say next? I want people to pay money to hear me talk.
Right.
Not to make money, because I want to know that you made a night out of wanting to hear me speak. Like that to me, that's all I've wanted since people to be like, what? Just do it. Like to me, like hear like a guy like Jeff Foxworthy and it's like they do an hour and 45 minutes and I'm like, yeah, I could have gone or not. That's awesome. And people leave like, and that's even not my brand of comedy, but that's just an amazing feat. Right. That, and when the guy at the House of Blues gave me the room, he's like, okay, you have the room for 2 hours. You can do whatever. And I'm like, well, I don't really have 2 hours of material.
Right.
But I'll fill it up with me and my friends and we'll do an awesome 2 hours. That's
awesome.
And that's how I've developed, like, I know what I can give you right now in 10 minutes. I know what I can give you in 20.
But why do you think you want to give it so much?
Because I love it. Like, I'm a very passionate person. I'm passionate about everything. Like, if you
probably got that from your mom.
Yes, my mom, but she's a workaholic. She's passionate about work. Like, it's just a different world. She's very passionate. She's the third highest woman at Lockheed Martin, third or fourth highest woman. And for a foreign national to have security clearance, like she's worked very hard. Wow. Like as much as I talked about being a gangster, she was a very smart, savvy businesswoman.
By the way, after this broadcast, she won't have that anymore. That's just done, bro.
Yeah, no, she
like that shit right out the window. Security clearance.
She can't be on Facebook, anything. Like she's never seen that's. But it's like, but she does human resources. When it comes to chopping the blocks, keeping the numbers tight.
Have you ever on stage and in the middle of an act think like, this is actually therapy more than anything else?
Well, yes and no. I'm very open about like my life. I think everyone I meet is a little bit of a therapist. Some people can deal. Some people can deal with it better than others. Right. So it's like you can't give everyone 100% because I know I get to be a lot after a while. Like I know that.
But when you're writing your sets and stuff like that, you're like, why the fuck am I writing this?
Well, no,
you know what I mean? Has that ever come up?
No, because I've had very good teachers in comedy. People that I really admire have taught me some things, and you always ask yourself why. Why is that funny? Why is that funny? Why is that funny? And if you can't answer why is it funny, it's not funny. So you work.
I like that concept.
I do too. Can you tell Chunky that again?
Yeah. Why is it funny? And if you can't answer why that's funny, it's not. To the moon. It's not funny, and that's what a lot of people. Yes, I talk, and there's a cadence and a rhythm to good stand-up.
Yeah.
And it's like just even that, like I'm working on new jokes about, you guys know the Ebola stuff, right? Yeah. Like that's terrible. But the missionary came back to the U.S. and they say they cured him and they just released him. And that's great news for him, but that's going to be terrible news for his girlfriend, It's like...
It's that first conversation.
Like, who wants to fuck a guy that just had Ebola?
Ebola what? Ebola good weed?
No.
What?
It's...
Yeah, we're gonna...
You guys go medical.
Chunky, why is that funny?
Hang on.
Answer that question. Why is that funny?
Dude, the wizard.
Wow.
Chiming in.
Wow.
Chunky man.
I'm learning. See, I'm learning from
By the way, the Scarlet Lady is just a couple of nights away. Let's try and polish your
I thought we were not even going to talk about it because...
it's going to be a fun night. You guys will... And I told you I'll let you know, like I've booked the last 3 shows and I know the room very well from reviews from comedians, what they hear, what they tell me.
What do they say?
What is the review?
Yeah.
Well, they say it gets rowdy late because it's a bar show and bar shows people are drinking and they say Chunky, he's a warm-up guy. He knows how to control a crowd and they're there for him. So it's like certain people, they don't know how to... In a bar show, it's like you're not...
And they're all 15 years older than the comedian.
Well, but the other thing, they don't want you up there doing jokes. They want to be entertained. Yeah. So you got to be tat. And that's what a lot of bar shows, they teach you to be bulletproof. Like, because when you're up there, it's like you work and you talk to them. And if you don't like it, fuck you. I got 100 more. And you're going to like them so much you're going to take it home. So shut the fuck up.
But Brian, I want to tell you, I tell these comedians that this is a place to explore new shit. And be fearless.
Well, and
you have to be.
One of the comedians on the show, she's a new comedian. Some of you guys might know her, Jen Sturger. Her name is Jen Sturger. She was the... Blonde? You can look her up. No, she was a reporter, sideline reporter for the Jets, and she was also the person that Brett Favre sent the dick pic to.
Is she going to do a bit about that?
Well, I don't know if she talks about it, but this is something that is, it's documented very well in her life, and she is a friend of mine. She is a friend, that being said. Yeah. And she's going to be, on the show, but another, and I give a lot of comedy is divided, but I give everyone chances in comedy, like male, female, alternative, mainstream. There's another female comedian on the show, Candace Thompson. She's one of those bright young. She's hilarious. She's savvy, good looking. Like I think she's maybe half Indian, half black. Unique look, funny. So just for those two, come check it out because Jen's doing comedy. She's exploring stuff, and this is one of those venues where you get to experience something that you normally wouldn't get to experience. But it is a bit of a cultural iconography. That whole Brett Favre thing because we all remember, and that is it's just the way that sometimes your life and the news can just be right there.
But the thing, we're talking about it, and when people hear this and see this right now,
after the show.
It's already done.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then I guess...
So thanks for coming.
Yeah, that was a great story. Can we talk about something that might happen?
Fan, I'll tell you this. We have a fan who drives from Arizona to take photos at the show every
really?
Yeah, Karen, McCoy's going to be coming out.
Really?
And she'll snap 1,000 photos.
Does she have a good steady hand?
She's awesome.
She's
a great photographer.
Yes?
Yep. And
well, I'm thrilled. Then I'm very happy. I'm always looking to get a picture of myself.
Yeah.
I love myself more than you guys.
I will say this. The one thing different about this bar, Chunky, is that it gets rowdy late, but it's also rowdy early. And the reason why is because people have been drinking there since 6 a.m. And
the door's open. We don't want to sound like we're overpopular, but the line starts at 6 a.m.
That's right.
I'm excited for the show. I'm excited to perform. I'm excited to for you to see. Oh, and another one of the comedians. I know this is going to come out after, but he just had his second audition for SNL in front of Lorne Michaels and everyone at Rockefeller. Brady Matthews is going to be. He's great. He's good looking. He fits the role. So you may get to see this guy before he really pops.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's oh, and another guy. My God, the lineup is stacked. His name's Mike Young.
Why didn't we have him on last week?
Why don't you have me on every week?
You know something? Because you know something.
Yeah, fuck it. Here, sit over here, bro.
Yeah.
Adler.
Can I run the computer also?
Dude, you can do it.
You got quite the resume. You're good.
Hey, real quick, you know who was a great comedian that was with us? Do you know J.J. Whitehead? You don't know this guy?
Let me see if I took my glasses off.
No, maybe you don't.
We've got his mugshot.
No, I don't.
All right, well, I'll tell you what.
I don't know JJ.
Look him up. He's awesome. I just thought.
Well, if JJ's serious, tell him to come by the House of Blues sometime. Check out the room, and I always throw. My room is a mix. My room is
Dude, I gotta throw you Sickler and Larson.
Well, that's what I always tell people. Like, I built a space where I have no pressure because at all these big comedy clubs, you have to put when you have a show of your own, you have to put up people they say and. I have whatever I want to do. So you get on the show by being my friend or being funny. You just got a date with having those
October.
Those eyes.
These eyes, I've seen a lot of love, but they're never going to see another comedian like I had in you.
That wasn't bad. I enjoyed that.
All right, so check this out. What's your future? Give me. You know, you're 30 years old. Where do you want to be? 35, 40?
I would say within 5 years I'll be a series regular or have one film. Like I have, she's a decent agent, but a great commercial agent. I have right people behind me, but it's like the one thing in the entertainment business is, and you know this, people think they're ready before they are. All the time, they think they're ready before. I started comedy late, and you guys wouldn't believe this. I started comedy 2 years, 7 months ago.
Wow. It was funny. Brian, hold that thought. I didn't mean to cut you off. We're having so much fun with this motherfucker. We have not even asked him, how'd you get started? Well,
we kind of did. We kind of covered that a little bit,
no? I mean, 2.5 months ago? I mean, 2.5 years ago?
What was your first time on stage?
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Oh, man.
Was it a success or a failure?
I told the Yo Mama joke, okay? I didn't...
Those can be funny.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you the joke. Like, I still remember. So I'm like, now that I look back, I'm like, did I have Down syndrome that night? Like, what the? Your mom is so fat. She actually said your girlfriend is skinny. Now, that's
it means almost nothing.
It does, but I was like, okay, I'll tell you where it was. Okay, I've been in LA when right after the Wall Street Journal, when I got my severance, I filmed and shot a pilot, a real good idea that I'm still just part of my resume. I had a good actor, and then right after that, I'm like, comedy. I get on stage at little places, an everyday open mic, a place called Marty's. You pay $5 to go in, and Marty, he just rents this space, and a bunch of shitty comedians, a bunch of bad energy. It feels like, it was like death. Literally.
Is this the bad spot in the valley you were talking about?
This is in Hollywood. This is in Hollywood on Sunset. Marty used to run the mic at the Ha Ha, just so you know. Like, Marty's been around forever, and it's called Marty's. And I get up on stage, and I'm like, holy shit, I can't do that. I know too many people in LA. Because when you start comedy, you're terrible. Like, you think you have to tell, well, at least I did. I thought I had to tell jokes. Because the minute I start telling jokes, the minute you fucking start leaving the room. I'm a storyteller.
Right.
I bring you into who I am, and I tell you why it's funny. Because it's goddamn hilarious to me.
Right.
Yeah, and that's you don't realize that till a while until you fail in comedy and you fix. I don't like to fail. And if I do, well, I like to fail because I love to get back up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really good. You guys can combine. You guys are much older than me. You combine all your failures together. I've failed financially more than all. Like, I've really risked a lot of things.
I'm not so sure about that.
Let's just go with it because he's got something to say.
No, I made, I've jumped into the pool way over my head a few times, and I'm still working my way out of a few, you try.
Tell me what you're talking about.
Well, it was the most expensive 3 music songs you ever met.
Tell us what happened.
Okay,
tell us your brainstorm.
Okay, sure. No.
Yeah.
I thought I could be a music producer because I've always loved music. Right after the Wall Street Journal, there was a man named Jay Gordon. He was the lead singer of Orgy, did the song Blue Monday, dun 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 dun, and Jay was one of those people who would pick up any instrument, never played before, and just be Mozart. He was amazing. They had a platinum album, then went gold, and they were spending the money they were making, but they're dividing it 5 ways. Like, they were each making, that amount. Right. They couldn't walk into a bank, these guys. They couldn't do anything. They owed over $2.2 million in everything. Everything. Like, Jay was literally living in poverty in the valley, and he had a great idea for a hip-hop group, a great idea, and I got investors to pay off everything for him on my word. Wow. Well, I didn't know that Jay had such a drug addiction.
I knew that was coming.
There we go.
Yeah, and disappears after 3 songs were made, and there were 3 really good songs. They were really good songs. Everyone was happy after those 3, but then once he got that seal of approval, he thought he could go on a bender and disappeared for like 2 months. And when he came back, his face looked like literally like he'd been clawing at it for weeks. Like it was one of those. And for 2.5 months, I'm like, it's going fine, to like
You tried to hold off the investors for a little bit?
Yeah, and it's like, but these people, like, they believe in me, and I've had a lot of affluent people come to my life, be like, okay, you're gonna do something, but you're gonna be in my pocket whenever it happens. And I'm a great underachiever right now, guys. You have to understand. I'm the great underachiever.
Oh, that's so funny.
And it is what it is. It's like, but I take big chances, big risk. And
where did it end up for you?
Well, I ended up fine. I just, I learned that I have to trust my instincts more, and I knew I should have kept a more watchful eye. But and when you get a big head and you're dealing with big numbers like that, and people who are much older than you are talking to you, it's like you don't learn sometimes till you fall. Like, you just don't learn how to handle the situations. Like, youth is wasted on the dumb. It's like if you knew what you knew when you were 30, as you're 20, you know what I mean? On and on. But that's why I'm saying, like, I make that's not the only, but I've made big errors, and I think it's all to get me to where I'm at, because I know this year, and I mean this is the worst financial year I've ever had in my life. But but it's all for a bigger, like, next year will be like,
we're on the same page, brother love. So on the page.
I know what it will be. Like, you build and the relationships, and you climb and you climb, and you don't do it for the money. You do it because you love it.
That's right. That's
exactly
Brian, right.
Brian,
you guys are awesome. By the way, I've talked about it. You guys are awesome.
Dude,
you guys are awesome. Like, you guys are awesome.
Something. It is easy to be awesome when you're hanging out with you. Man,
I've heard that before.
You bring awesomeness. And I want to say thank you for being in the Garage of Love. Thank you for being on 1 Degree of Chunky B. And here's what I need from you.
Yes.
You've got to accept the fact that you always have an open door policy in this garage.
Oh,
okay, you can tell me, you can call, we call us, and me and Adler, dude, we'll let you sit in and with somebody else. We'll add another mic for you.
We'll make you the guy on the couch.
We'll put you on the couch and we'll mic you on the couch.
Yeah.
That would probably be more fitting for like the last couple of months of my life.
Bring the honey bear bong. You're gonna need a honey bear bong.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Well, I know we're going there.
Okay,
we're going there.
True romance. Wow. I like.
Good segue.
Good segue.
I like.
And check this out, Brian. Here's one thing that we wrap up the show. The Wizard of the Knobs, Travis Spencer, always closes with a question. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't. Sure. Well, it's coming from him, but I don't know where he pulls it through the universe into his super cool brain. Undivided attention to the Wizard of the Knobs.
Hello. Welcome. Welcome. I'm really working on this creepy thing, guys.
Yeah. Actually, you haven't mastered.
You're almost there. Almost.
Almost.
You can get creepier.
Yes, finally. Brian, pleasure to meet you. Seem like you have a nice, very cool history. I want to know more about you. So I'm going to ask you this: do you believe in UFOs, or not? Do you believe in aliens? First of all, and wait, this isn't really working. Do you believe that aliens are on this planet currently? That's the first question.
Oof. Good question. I most certainly believe in aliens, because the size of the universe, mathematics will teach you, like the law of averages. Right. There's other.
They're out there, right?
Yes, absolutely. To be here, Current. Oh man. Yes. Sure. Why not? Yes.
You're gonna say yes?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's a yes or no question.
I mean, he just talked to you, so that's probably what triggered his answer.
It's a yes or no.
There's no denial.
It's a yes or no question, so I'm gonna have to go with yes.
Okay, so are they in our own dimension? Do they live in our own dimensional universe? Are they in other dimensions? How do they exist amongst us?
Okay, you understand what dimensions really are, like the over.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
A bit. It's complex.
Okay, yeah, it's very
He lives in the Matrix.
Okay, it's like
We're all
this.
in the Matrix, not just me.
We're really only seeing things in 2 dimensions right now. We see things in 1 dimension less than 1. So whatever the 4th dimension may be, possibly. Time is a lot about perspective.
Oh my God.
We're geeking out, guys. Hold on.
Okay, but I'm a geek at heart. You guys have to understand, like, whatever you think you see or what you've heard, like, I'm a geekosaurus.
I feel like I'm at a
nerd.
Comic-Con after party.
Shut up, guys.
And
Shut up,
it
guys.
would be awesome. It would be the best one you've ever been to.
All right, hold on. Let him finish his thought.
But the aliens, I believe Stephen Hawking's belief in aliens is that when they do make an appearance, they're to take us over, to take our resources. They're not to be friends. So if there are aliens here, they have assimilated themselves to learn in the best way to take over. And not just by the means of force. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think a higher civilization would be above, the use of force as a first act.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think, like, just based on human evolution, the way the mind evolves. So, like,
wouldn't they? Yeah, I see what you're saying, but wouldn't they possibly just screw with our DNA and let us do it ourselves?
No, that's too long. That's the long con. You know what I'm saying?
The long game.
Yeah, if you're coming to this planet, it's because you need what we got.
The resources now.
Yeah,
Can we get back to pussies and shit?
Can we talk about a vagina?
Genocide, and you don't want to commit genocide. You know what I mean? Because that's basically what you're talking about. Is like if they come in, like that's Stephen Hawking's belief.
But that's why you play the long game, right? Because then it's not genocide if the people do it to themselves.
Yeah, so I mean,
Chunk, this is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this your way.
Yeah.
Right now,
Seriously, did you hear about the Yankees? They're doing really good.
Yeah.
Hey, great answer,
Yeah,
brother.
what about the
Thanks
Royals?
for
though? What about the
elevating our
Royals?
The
show.
Royals are doing yeah.
Thanks for elevating our show.
I'm here for you guys.
All right, you know something? That is a whole other episode. That's why you need to come back. If you're that much of a freak, and this guy is super freaky,
fuck it.
we
You
got a
and
whole
me,
other
we'll
show. I feel like I'm on Coast to
I'll
Coast
do-
on
I'll do-
640.
Right? Do they still
Great
do that?
show.
I remember
Yes.
that. Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But I love anything that challenges the mind, and that's why comedy is it's the last form of free speech where I can go up and talk about whatever I want and tell you why I think it's funny. Yes, you have to work on getting the stories concise and pithy and sharp, but that's why I love it, and that's why you guys are awesome. And thank you guys very much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
You guys, Brian, Moreno,
Quick plug.
talk to us.
The House of Blues, September 5th, 7:30 to 9:30. The doors open at 7 o'clock. House of Blues Comedy. Just search that on Google. It's very easy to find me.
Yep.
House of Blues Comedy. Just don't miss it out. This show, it's one of a kind, and it's all free. Enjoy yourselves. Live life. Be
And
merry.
one more thing,
Twitter.
Moreno at videomise.tv. That's coming soon to a theater near you.
All right, you guys. Anything else? But besides me, Adler, and Spencer telling you that you are a fucking guest among guests, and you enjoyed the Venice duck.
Oh, I
loved it. And then you know something, and then you did nibble on the jerk.
No, I think I ate probably the whole bag.
That's all right. You still got to go. Don't eat that little white packet right there.
Yeah, it wasn't so good. That one wasn't so good. That one.
Alberto, you see what we're doing here, right? Alberto?
Yep. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know the fact that I am Chunky B, and this is ChunkyB.tv in 1 Degree of Chunky B in the Garage of Love. Big, huge thank you to the executive producer, to Gary Adler.
Thank you very much.
And then we go over to Wizard of the Knobs, Travis Spencer, the Knobs, and then Brian Moreno. Thank you for all your coolness, and thank you for making everything at the Scarlet Lady a funnier place to be. I am DONE. Thank you.
Now, I just have to make a comment about Chunky B.